Good afternoon, everyone. We are live with GR Level 3 once again. We do have two active tornado warnings in Dallas, Tarrant, and Denton County. This tornado warning is going to be in effect until 2:30 p.m. And you can see I'm going to go ahead and switch to two panels. The tornado warning in Denton may be allowed to expire, and the tornado warning there in Dallas, north of North Richland Hills, may actually it may be extended. So those of you in Louisville, if you're watching, take cover. Grapevine, you may be out of the way just to the south. Hubbard, the Colony, Flower Mound. Flower Mound is getting hit right now. We don't have any reports of a tornado on the ground at this time. Let me turn off. There are reports of rotating wall cloud in that area at this time, but no reports of a tornado. And the same thing up in Denton. There was a report of a rotating wall cloud, but no report of a tornado actively on the ground. So those of you in the Grapevine, Louisville, Flower Mound, Highland Village, the Colony, Hubbard, let's see, Frisco, Little Elm, you guys are out of the tornado warning, but expect that tornado warning to be extended. I really don't think this storm will put a tornado on the ground just due to this cell down here that's moving over Fort Worth right now and into Arlington, because this cell down here is pulling a lot of energy away from this cell in Grapevine. So those of you in those areas, go ahead and take cover. Activate your tornado safety precautions. Get downstairs underneath something in the center part of a home or building, and keep away from your windows and doors. Also, there is a rotating wall cloud out of this cell, this small cell over here in Bonham. This is actually be north of Honey Grove. There is a rotating wall cloud been reported, but this is not even a severe thunderstorm warned storm yet. So we're not. That could produce a severe thunderstorm warning here shortly. I don't know why it's not at this time. Winds may still be under 58 miles per hour, so that could be the reason. But we're going to focus in right here on the Dallas Metroplex area, the DFW area, and this includes Denton. So you folks in Denton, you may be in the all clear at this time. I'm going to see if it actually is expired. It's still in effect until 2:15 p.m., so it has not been canceled. So keep an eye on that. It could recycle and build another tornado warning, and if that does, then it will be moving up to the Sherman and Denison area, to Whitewright, Howell, Van Alstyne, and Bells, Texas. So you folks in those areas that are watching, go ahead and take your precautions. Get ready to take precautions for that storm as well. Alright, guys, this tornado warning has been allowed to expire in Fort Worth for Tarrant County and Dallas County, and is still in effect for South Denton County, Southeast Denton County. That tornado warning, the radar indicated circulation is moving into Louisville at this time. The Colony is next. It looks like it might hit the Highland Villages, um, and is moving towards Frisco. They are not extending it at this time, um, but it does look like the cell on reflectivity is weakening. That's this panel right here on the left. You can tell that there's a little bit of red still left in there, so they might allow it to expire before it gets to the Colony, right after it passes through Louisville. And the reason for that is this part down here that's trailing off of it is pulling a lot of energy because it's still maintaining its strength a little bit, and it's pulling a lot of energy away from that other half of that cell. So there's not going to be enough strength to be able to pull a tornado out of that. Now there is some area of rotation over Arlington at this time, so be expecting something from there. I don't have any reports of any wall clouds or anything like that at this time. But those of you over Louisville, you still have rotation in that storm right there. And again, it is moving towards the Colony. And so you folks should make sure you guys have your tornado safety precautions. Because a tornado could develop out of this at any time. So make sure that you folks, or if you have any friends or family that live in those areas, to make sure you guys are safe and they're safe. Alright guys, we are still watching this tornado warning in Dallas area. It's actually in Louisville now. It's moving away. It's going into the colony at this time. So you folks in the colony, uh, the rotation is starting to break up a little bit. So they may allow this tornado warning to expire. In fact, I'm sure they're going to allow this tornado warning to expire. So you folks in the colony, you guys may see some slight rotation. Little Elm and Frisco, Hebron, you guys are going to see some probably rotation out of this storm, but don't be alarmed. It is weakening up quite a bit, so you may not see any tornado warnings. There's no reports out. There is actually flooding reported out in Corinth, so water up to the curbs and roads, about 5 inches of water, flash flooding. So you folks in Corinth are going to be experiencing some flash flooding at this time, and probably those of you in Highland Village and Louisville as well, in the surrounding areas of Corinth. So again, the storm is dissipating. This tornado warning is dissipating. They're probably going to allow it to expire. I'm going to stop. I'm going to freeze this image right here at the very last frame, and there you can see right there that little bit of green. I'm going to back it up one frame to show you this little bit of green right here on the right panel near the colony in Louisville. I'm going to skip to the next panel, and it's gone. So they are going to allow the tornado warning to expire. The rotation is completely gone now. Out of base velocity, we're going to switch this panel over to storm relative velocity and take a look. See, there's very little bit of rotation near Louisville, uh, but anything else is just completely gone. So we are going to, they're going to allow that to expire, and we're going to go ahead and maintain a good watch of this storm just in case this thing does, uh, pick back up. There are still some more storm cells all the way around the Metroplex area. Sulphur Springs, or I'm sorry, Cooper, up around Sherman, down by Athens and Van Zant. There are a few cells out there that are very interesting. I'm going to take a look at this one down here in Cooper real quick, and there is some rotation in there. And this is going to be near Lake Creek, right over Enlow. There is some rotation in this storm, so those of you can expect this storm to go severe thunderstorm warned, and if it does, it will likely go tornado warned shortly thereafter, because of their rotation being in there. And there is I did not see any uh, storm spotter reports in that cell, so yeah, there's no storm spotter reports. Honey Grove, there was a rotating wall cloud reported out of that storm, and that is this one up here. It's moving into Oklahoma now, so you folks in North Texas shouldn't be too worried about that. I'm going to keep an eye on this storm right here uh, over the colony as until this tornado warning is allowed to expire, just to kind of keep you guys updated on what is going on here. So those of you that are watching, be sure to subscribe and make sure you have that notification bell on so that next time there are some storms that are approaching the area, that you'll be able to be notified and you can get live radar views. So we're going to sit here and watch this for just a little bit. Alright, guys, the tornado warning has been allowed to expire over Denton County and southeastern Denton County. At this time, there's no indication of rotation, and those storms are weakening. There's slight bit of rotation down south of or north of Irving, but it is not enough to warrant a tornado warning at this time. However, we will be keeping an eye on it just to make sure. It's going to be in this area right here just to make sure that there is uh, no chance of it going tornado warned. However, we are going to watch. I'm going to zoom out a little bit and I'm going to watch a larger area because there are several cells. This one south of Paris, this one moving into, looks like north of Summer and moving over into Oklahoma is possibly rotating. This one down here south of Paris, if it maintains its strength, it could go tornado warned. But I will keep an eye on these storms. Again, if you are just joining us, there has been tornado warnings in Tarrant, Dallas, and Denton County. They've all been allowed to expire. We have not had any reports of tornadoes actually touching down, just reports of rotating wall clouds, and there are lots of uh, lots of reports of flooding, and there's a report of sheets of plywood thrown 100 plus yards into fence on east side of Riverside Drive. So there was high winds associated with these storms. But we are going to look back again. We're going to turn our radar signatures back on, and we are going to keep an eye on all of these cells all the way around here because these could go tornadic at any time, and they could go severe thunderstorm warned anytime. So again, you folks down there in Denton, Dallas, and Tarrant County, all of the tornado warnings have expired. Let's see, the Colony, Frisco, Stepton, Fairview, Allen, all of you guys down there are in the clear now. So if you are watching this and you are in your storm shelters, or if you have moved away, if you are in the center part of your home or building where you should have been during tornado warnings, you can come out. It is safe now. The tornado warnings have been allowed to expire. Uh, so that being said, we are going to maintain, we're going to keep this live stream open, and we're going to keep watching these storms. And this, again, for those of you who are wondering, this program is GR Level 3, which is a live Doppler radar feed. Um, and we will be keeping an eye on these storms. There are a lot of mesocyclones that just popped out on all of these storms up here. So there's a lot of rotation in all of these storms. So we're going to keep an eye on these storms as well as these down here from Henderson all the way up to Sulphur Springs and into Greenville. We are going to watch those just to kind of keep an eye on them and make sure that there's no more rotation. Uh, so keep it here, guys. Make sure you guys like, and if you guys have any questions or comments, let me know in the chat down below. I will talk to you guys. I'm watching the chats as well. If you guys want to see a certain area, if there's a storm over a certain area, you guys want me to check it out, definitely let me know and I will check that out for you. Alright, so we are going to take a break, but the live stream will continue. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I was looking around at the radar, and I am looking at a cell over Rockwall. It is not tornado warned, or it's not severe thunderstorm warned at this time, but there is rotation in this echo down by Heath, Texas, south of Rockwall in Rockwall County. So you folks in those areas can be expecting to see uh, some rotating wall clouds out of that cell right there. And because it is not severe at this time, likely you won't be seeing any tornado warnings out of it yet. However, this next image is showing that it is strengthening. So we are going to keep a watch on this. So you folks in Rockwall area, Mobile City, Fate, and anywhere north in northern Rockwall County, Royce City, this storm could go severe thunderstorm warned at any time and would likely go tornado warned just due to this rotation. Now, if you look in this right panel right here, just north of Heath, there is some rotation. That purple, uh, those purple pixels in there with those blue pixels is showing rotation, and it is starting to move into Rockwall at this time. So you folks down in Rockwall and Mobile City need to be prepared for this thing to go severe thunderstorm warned and go tornado warned as well. Um, Now, this storm right here, you can see there is some echoes down here in Irving. This is possibly another rotating wall cloud. So you folks down in University Park, uh, be prepared because this may go tornado warned here soon. I'm going to check and see. There are no current spotter reports at this time indicating that there is any rotating wall clouds. However, we are looking at low-level rotation south of Farmers Branch uh, down here, and I believe this is going to be, I think that's going to be Dallas County. But down northeast of Irving, there is some rotation in that storm right there, and it is moving northeast at this time. So we are going to keep an eye on these cells right here that have some rotation. The cell over Rockwall and down here over, oh, it was south of Farmers Branch, University Park area and Highland Park area. Uh, it's off to your west, so be prepared for that storm that rotating wall cloud to come up to your area. Okay, guys, I'm getting storm spotter reports right now in Hugo, Oklahoma, and that's going to be these cells that we were talking about earlier. I'm going to take a look at these real quick and then go back up here. That's these cells right up here. This one right here is producing golf ball sized hail at this time. So if you know anyone in Hugo and Choctaw County, uh, advise them. This storm has some rotation in it. We're going to freeze the animation and we're going to zoom in. We're going to take a look, and there is some rotation in this storm. So uh, you folks in Hugo and Grant County, take precautions because there is golf ball sized hail at this time in this storm. Also, we're going to look back at these cells over Rockwall. There is still some rotation over Rockwall right now, uh, and moving straight up to Mobile City. So you can see that this new image right here on the right screen, on the right half of the screen, you see that red and that purple and blue tightening up, and that means that there's rotation. It's that small area. There's rotation in there. Also, University Park, there is some rotation in that storm over by Highland Park, and it's moving right over University Park at this time. So you folks in those areas need to take precautions as well because this could go tornado warned anytime. The storm up in Addison, it looks like it's strengthening, but it is not um, showing any rotation at all. That rotation is showing out of University Park. We're going to go ahead and take a look at some other storms down here in the south. There's no, and around Grand Prairie, Florence Hill, there's no rotation in those storms, and that severe thunderstorm warning box has been allowed to expire for Arlington area, and looks like Webb and Sublet, they are out of the severe thunderstorm warning box. We're continuing to keep an eye on these storms here in Rockwall and around Highland Park and University Park that are showing rotation. Also, we're going to keep these guys up here in Hugo. We're going to keep an eye on this storm as well because there is some rotation markers in this storm as well. And as we get a new image, we're gonna kind of analyze this a little bit. Arthur City, there is some rotation in that area as well as right up in here, uh, north of Summer on the Red River. There is some rotation in that cell as well, and the same with this one down here in Pattonville, southwest of Pattonville. There's a little bit of rotation in that storm as well, south of Paris. So we're keeping an eye on these storms while they move uh, in and out of uh, the area. Again, Rockwall, there's some significant rotation in that one. I'm going to go ahead and kill my imagery. I still have no spotter reports on anything in those areas, but there is a significant rotation right there in Rockwall County, just on the south side and south of Rockwall, Texas. But again, we are going to keep an eye on these storms to make sure uh, that we don't have to worry about any other tornado warnings at this time. All right, guys, we are back, and I wanted to take a look. There is a new tornado warning. There is a new tornado warning, and that's going to be in Rockwall. So you folks in Rockwall need to take your tornado safety precautions. As I mentioned earlier, the rotation in that area is.
Texas has issued a tornado warning.
There is a there's Fate, just north of Fate is where the area that circulation is. That's that storm that I mentioned to you. We're going to keep an eye on. That we were worried about tornado warnings to be added to that storm. It has now gone tornado warned. Really quick, I'm going to switch back over here to the University Park. That was another storm that we were looking at that had rotation in it. There's some slight rotation in it, but it is not anything that I'm in any concern about right now. But those of you in, looks like it's going to be north of Fate, Royce City. You folks in those areas need to take your tornado safety precautions at this time. Get downstairs underneath something in the center part of your home or building, and move away from your windows and doors. Also, really quick, I wanted to switch over here to Paris area, Pattonville. You guys are now Pattonville, Reno Blossom, and it looks like Lamar. You all are now in a severe thunderstorm warning, and this severe thunderstorm is moving northeast. But let's go back to this tornado warning. This tornado warned cell. It is not a severe thunderstorm warning. However, it is under a tornado warning. Tornado warning has been issued for northern Rockwall County and southern Collin County in north central Texas until 3:45. A confirmed tornado was located near Mobile City near Rockwall, moving northeast at 20. So there is a tornado. Uh, this was a tornado on the ground that was confirmed. And this is, again, like I said, there's no severe thunderstorm warning for this storm. However, it is tornado warned. So you folks in Nevada, Josephine, you folks in these areas, this is actually near Royce City. You folks need to take your tornado safety precautions. Also, Fate, Rockwall, it's moving out of your. I'm sorry, Mobile City and Rockwall is moving out of your area at this time, but there is a tornado warning in effect for this area. So take your tornado safety precautions. If you can't get, if you don't have a storm cellar or a storm shelter, then move to a interior closet. Just put as many walls between you and the storm as you can, between you and outside as you can. Uh, Hang on 1 second. Put as many walls between you and the outside as you can, and that's going to ensure your safety. If you have football helmets, baseball helmets, anything like that, then grab one and put it on, because anything to help protect against anything. There's also another tornado warning. Again, we were watching these storms down here around Van Zant. There's a new tornado warning that is just issued for Tundra area. Tundra and Edgewood. There's some rotation south of Fruitvale. Stand by, I'm going to be talking to some spotters at this time. I have two tornado warnings, one for Van Zant and one for Rockwall. They were just now issued, and severe thunderstorm warning for Paris and Choctaw is continuing as well. So you folks in Rockwall. Okay, 10-4-101, clear. Hugo, Oklahoma, tornado sirens are going off in Hugo at this time. So you folks in Hugo, there is some rotation, but I do not see any indication of a tornado. There is no tornado warning issued, but the tornado sirens are going off in that area. Also, Paris. There is rotation. So there is a rotating wall cloud being reported at this time by storm spotters in Hugo. There is a tornado. They set the tornado centers off, so they are probably going to be issuing a tornado warning for that as well. Paris, you folks down in Paris, be prepared for a tornado warning near Pattonville. South of Reno, southwest of Blossom, there's some indications of rotation, and there is a hook in that area. Again, there's active tornado warning for Rockwall, Van Zant, and Emory areas. You folks in those areas need to take your tornado safety precautions immediately. Tornado warning again in Rockwall. This is going to be in, I'm going to open this up, Collin and Rockwall County. 3:45 p.m. is when the tornado warning expires, so you have about 40 minutes. Also, tornado warning for Van Zant and Rains County until 3:45 p.m. 101, 113, 10-9. So they are in Hugo at this time. They are showing rotation. Yeah, I copy that 113. So you folks in Hugo area, uh, tornado warnings, tornado sirens are. There are some tornadoes. It sounds like the tornado sirens are being toned out in Hugo. Stand by. 101, 113, was that tornado sirens being toned out?
They see some rotating wall clouds over Hugo that's hanging down real low to the ground. They said they had dust flying for a minute, but then it stopped. It picked back up. They said it's still hanging down real close to the ground. They set on the fire range right now for the city of Hugo.
Okay, clear. So you folks have heard that. They are setting the tornado sirens off for Hugo, Oklahoma at this time. Also, you folks down in Paris, do not underestimate. There is a possible tornado and possible rotation. I'm sorry, in that storm cell as well. So you folks down in Rockwall, Van Zant, Rains County, and Collin County. You folks down in Rockwall and Collin County, Rains and Van Zant County, and Hugo, be prepared. They are going to issue a tornado warning for Hugo.
Yeah, because they don't even have a tornado warning for them to get to
Uh,
Danforth, like I said, they're crazy aware, but the officers and the PD officers and the county sheriff and OHP is on scene with them dark clouds.
Okay, right now there are tornado warnings in effect at this time for uh, uh, Rockwall and Collin County, as well as Rains and Van Zant County. So you folks in those areas need to uh, make sure you have your tornado safety precautions in in place at this time. So make sure you get downstairs underneath something in the center part of a home or building, and keep away from your windows and doors. We are still uh, watching these areas. We're going to go ahead and zoom back in really quick. Uh, I've got some people, some chasers over in Hugo area that are trying to get tornado sirens, tornado warning issued for Hugo because they have they have saw some dust kick up on that cell. Although it does look weak, there is some rotation. There has been some wall clouds uh, spotted in that area. Also, the storm is moving in through Reno. It is getting stronger. There's a significant hail core in there. Um, let's turn on our hail signatures. We are looking at 1.25 inch hail, inch and a quarter size hail over Reno and Pattonville. I just went through Pattonville, but there is some rotation in this area right here that we are looking at. And again, these storms have been producing tornadoes without very much warning. Rockwall, let's go back down here to Rockwall. There is still some rotation in there, but it looks like they are going to allow that storm to expire, that tornado warning to expire. However, Canton, there is a tornado warning for you just south of Canton right there, moving northeast straight into Van Zant. So let's see, severe thunderstorm. This is Doppler radar indicated. This has not been uh, uh, from a spotter. So there is radar indicated rotation right in these areas, just northeast of Edgewood, northwest of Fruitvale, along that highway, the same highway that goes straight down to Canton, where there is rotation straight south of Canton, right there, uh, not very far out of Canton. So you folks in those areas need to make sure you guys are taking your tornado safety precautions as well. Rockwall, I believe it's going to be Collin County now. The tornado warning for Rockwall was canceled, but it remains in effect for Collin County. So you folks in Collin County, um, let's see, it shows that tornado warning is still in effect for Collin County, I believe. So you folks in that area around Josephine, Nevada, um, you folks, looks like you may be getting into the clear, but I would not underestimate this storm. Uh, they are still very, very well organized at this time. Also, another cell has just come out of Denton, and there is some rotation along the leading edge of that storm near Aubrey and Krugerville. Also, there is some in Denton as well. So you folks down there, be prepared for another tornado warning. Van Zant and Rains County, you are under active tornado warning. Hugo, you're under severe thunderstorm warning, and they are trying to get that bumped up to a tornado warning at this time. Uh, Paris, you have rotation in that cell near Blossom, so be prepared to take your tornado safety precautions on that cell as well. So there are lots of storms in these areas that are producing some unwanted weather. So you folks in these areas, be prepared to possibly take cover out of these storms. So we're going to, and now they have extended that um, severe thunderstorm warning from Paris all the way into McCurtain County in Oklahoma and Red River County in Texas. So you folks around the Idabel, Oklahoma area, Clarksville, Texas, you folks are in that severe thunderstorm warning now. Now remember, that is capable of producing tornadoes. I'm going to take a look at this cell over Cooper near Delta and Commerce. Coming out of Sulphur Springs, there is some rotation in different parts of that storm right there, but it's not significant enough to warrant a tornado warning. Terrell, Texas, there is starting to be some hook. I see a hook coming up out of that, and there is some rotation showing in Crandall, north of Crandall. There is a little bit of rotation in there, so we're going to keep an eye on that as well. Aubrey, we're still looking at you guys over here, Pilot Point area. There is still some rotation along that leading edge that we are concerned about. Ponder, Denton, there's also an area of rotation over you, but I think that is the area where that storm is trading off energy, so I'm not too worried about that one. However, I'm not underestimating these storms. I'm going to take a quick break off of the mic real quick, and I'll be back here shortly. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are still monitoring lots of activity in these storms. Again, we're going to stay with this rotation down here near Van Zant, between Van Zant and Canton. There is active rotation in that area. I'm sorry, in Van Zant County near Canton. There is still active rotation in this area, so we are keeping an eye on that. The rotation is weakening in this storm in Rains County. So we are going to maintain a visual on that because it is still tornado warned. Also, it looks like the storm is starting to cycle back up near Nevada, Royce City. There's Mobile City. There's still some rotation in that storm. It is not tornado warned in Rockwall County, so but there is still some rotation right there, so it may be cycling back up. Now, Rowlett, there is some rotation starting to begin in that storm as well. And Talty, we're still looking at that rotation, that area of rotation right there in Talty, south of Forney. And again, up in Aubrey, there is some leading edge, a rotation on the leading edge of this storm right here near Tioga and
113,
Pilot
I'm
Point.
back on channel. They said stand down for a minute. They said they got enough spotters over there right now, so they told me to stay in Bush County for a moment. And I'm fixing to head toward Rattan here in about 10 minutes. I'm going to go get me some gas in my truck, and I'm going to be headed that way.
101 clear. Also, there is some rotation near Krugerville in that small storm as well. So there are lots of areas of interest in these storms, and we are very concerned about these. Again, that's going to be there's Hugo in Choctaw County. The storm near between Reno and Detroit, north of Blossom, is still showing some rotation in there, but it looks like it is weakening. We also have another storm coming in near Klondike and Delta, uh, coming up towards Lake Creek and Roxton. There is some areas in there near. There are some areas of interest. That is also a storm of interest right there. Let's go back down to Emory and Rains. We're gonna monitor this one a little bit harder because there is a significant amount of rotation, and you can see that storm north of Canton is producing 2-inch hail. So we want to be warned of that. Less than an inch up here in Rains County, it's half-inch size hail. So, and that rotation is starting to kick back up. So that storm up there is starting to cycle. It's starting to cycle back up. So you folks in Alba, if this maintains its strength, they're going to extend that tornado warning to include Yantis and Alba and possibly Quitman. Also, this area of rotation down in Canton area that is going to affect Golden, possibly Mineola, Wood, and possibly Haynesville. So you folks in those areas need to be aware of this storm. You folks that are in the tornado warned areas north of Canton, uh, Grand Saline, I would anticipate you guys go ahead and get ready to take your safety precautions if you haven't already done so, because this cell is moving northeast towards Grand Saline or Grand Saline or Grand Salina, however you guys say it. Um, that area is the hot zone at this time for tornadic activity. Let's go back up here, and there is some very significant cycling back on that storm there in Rain County. So southeast Rain County, uh, that storm, that tornado, rotation is southwest of Alba. So you folks in Alba, and I just got a new image on that rotation. So Alba, you need to take cover now because they're going to extend that tornado warning to include you. Um, that's storm northwest of northeast of Van Zant, that is starting to cycle back up too. So you folks in those areas need to get ready. You folks need to take cover as well. Saline, you guys need to get your tornado safety precautions as well, because that storm is going to be moving up just south of you if it doesn't hit you head on. Uh, Again, Alba, go ahead and take your tornado safety precautions. That rotation is right outside your window. So go ahead and take your tornado safety precautions and get downstairs underneath something, move to the center part of your house or building, and keep away from your windows and doors. If you cannot move, if you don't have any of those options available, get to the innermost part of your house, a hallway, closet, or in a hallway. Put as many walls between you and outside as you can. We're still this storm cell over Delta and Klondike near Lake Creek is still strong. So you folks in that area, be watching out for that storm as well. So far, the only tornado warnings that are active right now is in Rains and Van Zandt County. It looks like they may be allowing this tornado warning for Colin to cancel or expire. So we are still watching that. Tornado warning remains in effect until 3:45 for Collin County. So we're not going to ignore Collin County until they drop that tornado warning, which there is no rotation in that, so they may allow it to expire. However, Rockwall, there's another cell just west of Rockwall that is starting to hook and starting to show rotation, so they may reissue another tornado warning on that as well. We're still looking at Talty. There's some rotation in that storm as well. Van Zant, I'm going to turn the imagery off. There are still no spotter reports of anything in those cells, so we don't know if those tornadoes are on the ground or if they are just rotating wall clouds. But right in this area where it says Van Zant, I'm not sure if there is a town there. I'm not familiar with Texas very much, but it looks like there possibly is a town of Van Zant. I may be wrong. Grand Saline, all of you in that area, that rotation is moving towards Grand Saline. They also this area of rotation again is weakening near Alba, but is right along that tornado warned area, right along Alba. Right there is some area of rotation. So you folks, they may extend that tornado warning out to you guys. We're actually gonna have to wait and see. But you folks down in Van Zant area, that storm is still that rotation is still very strong, and you can see on this base reflectivity that hook. That's that area of rotation in the clouds, and you can see this purple over here in the storm relative velocity. This purple and blue right in here. That's the area of rotation. That's the winds that are rotating. So there is rotation active in that cell. So you folks in those areas need to take cover as well. Uh, Again, we are not ignoring you folks down in Collin County and Rockwall. Um, there is some rotation building back up near Rockwall. Hang on one second, guys. 101, go ahead. Alright, folks, tornado warning has been extended to include Mineola, Quitman, Alba, Yantis, just like I anticipated. Haynesville, you are out of this tornado warning at this time, but that radar indicated tornado down in Van Zant area is moving northeast. So you folks in Golden, um, Grand Saline is right at your back door, so be careful. Go ahead and take your tornado safety precautions. Golden, Alba, go ahead and take your tornado safety precautions as well. Quitman, Wood, Yantis, everyone that's in this tornado warning, this is going to be for uh, Smith and Wood County in northeastern Texas. It's going to be northwestern Smith and Wood County in northeastern Texas until 4 p.m. This is going to include um, the hazards are going to include a possible damaging tornado, golf ball sized hail. Okay, this is an emergency management has confirmed a tornado. So there is a tornado on the ground, and flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. So um, there is a tornado that has been reported from this storm, and I'm going to say this is going to be this storm near Grand Saline. So you folks in that area need to take cover. Golden, take cover immediately. Quitman, if this in Yantis and Alba, all of you folks in this tornado warned area need to take cover immediately. If this storm continues its strength and moves on, it is going to do a lot of damage. Also, um, we're going to look back real quick up here in the Aubrey area near Pilot Point. We've already gone around. We've already gone out of that area. Now we're in Salina, uh, near Prosper. There is a tornado vortex signature right there, so you folks need to be aware that there is rotation in there as well. So you folks in these areas, Prosper, Dorchester, there's a very large hail core moving towards Dorchester. There is a large area of rotation near Weston, but that is not tornado warned. So be on the lookout for any possible tornadoes. Let's go back over here to Wood County and Smith County. Looks like they're going to be. Looks like the northeast half of Wood County and a northeastern corner of Smith County is going to be affected by this tornado warning. So you folks in half of Wood County, from Mineola all the way up to Newsom, not including Newsom, but Haynesville, you are out of it. Wood, Quitman, you are in it. Golden, Alba, Yantis, Grand Saline, y'all should take y'all's tornado safety precautions immediately. There is a tornado on the ground that has been reported by the emergency management officials in that area. So you folks need to take your tornado safety precautions. We are going to continue to watch this. I'll go ahead and start the animation so you guys can see a little bit about what this storm has done so you can anticipate what it will do. So we're going to start this animation a little bit, and we are going to take a break from the audio, but we are going to maintain a close eye on this storm while I try to gather information on this tornado in Woods County, this tornado warning for Wood County, Van Zant, and Rains County. So stick around. Also, make sure you share this to your friends and family if you have any friends or family in these areas. Also, make sure give us a like and a subscribe because we do go live for tornado warnings in North Texas and Oklahoma uh, during any severe weather events. So be sure to subscribe for that and be sure to turn those notifications on for to get notified anytime we upload content or anytime we go live. All right, guys, we've got a new tornado warning, and this is going to be for that area in Terrell that I was talking about earlier that did go tornado warned. Let's take a look at it. There has been a spotter reported of a rotating wall cloud in that storm, and they did issue a tornado warning for it. We talked about that earlier. That was that storm near Talty. We were keeping an eye on it. Sure enough, it did go tornado warned, and that area of rotation is north of Terrell, Texas. So you folks in Quinlan and McCoy, you guys need to take your tornado safety precautions. Terrell, Texas, take your tornado safety precautions as well, and everything in between. There is let's see, if we have a source is radar indicated rotation, so there is no visible tornado at this time has been reported. So you folks in these areas, there are a lot of tornado warnings. The tornado warning in uh, looks like in Collin was allowed to be canceled, but the tornado warnings for Wood, um, Northeast Smith, Van Sant, and Rains County are continuing. There is still some rotation moving north of Alba at this time. Also, Grant's Line is southeast of you very slightly, and is moving straight into Golden and Mineola area. That area of rotation near Alba is moving possibly up into Yantis, but that is weakening, so we can possibly expect that to die off with this storm, this larger storm near Golden, pulling the energy away from that storm in Yantis and Alba. So you folks in Grants Line, Golden, Quitman, you folks need to take your tornado safety precautions uh, as this storm moves northeast. Let's see. This storm is the area of rotation that is concerning is southeast of Grants Line, and it is moving northeast at this time towards Golden. So you folks in Golden and Mineola need to take your tornado safety precautions. Again, new tornado warning has been issued for, uh, let's see, let me open up this warning box again. Rockwall, Hunt, and Kaufman County. You folks are in another tornado warning, and that area of circulation is going to be just past, just right over Terrell. And there's also a couple more areas of rotation between Lawrence and Terrell, and there's one over Lawrence as well. But the main area of rotation uh, is moving northeast, and it looks to be affecting McCoy and Quinlan and West Tawakoni. So you folks out at Lake Tawakoni, take your precautions as well. There is a storm coming towards you. If you know anybody that is on the lake, go ahead and send them a text message or a phone call. Tell them that there is a tornado warning affecting West Tawakoni. If they are on a boat, if they have an extended vacation this week from Memorial Day, they might be there on the lake at this time. Uh, they may want to, if they have any boats in the water, or if they are out there camping or enjoying their weekend or their week vacation, you may want to let them know that they should go ahead and take cover. Also, Grants Line, Van Sant and Rains, it looks like that tornado warning has has expired because the tornado has moved out of that area, the tornado warned area. The radar indicating tornado, or the radar rotation, has moved out of those tornado warned areas. However, Grants Line, you're still not out of the clear. It looks like that cell is cycling yet again, coming into Yantis. So Yantis, take your tornado safety precautions immediately. That storm is moving up to through south of there, and chances are um, they're going to extend this tornado warning again, and whoops, and is going to possibly come into south, I believe that's Hopkins and Franklin County. So be prepared for those in Como. Um, up here in Newsom and Whitesboro is just barely inside that tornado warned area. So Newsom, Picton, Como, Pearlie, you folks need to take a really good look at this storm and go ahead and get your tornado safety precautions ready to get down into the storm cellar. You guys have um, a few minutes before this is on you, and go ahead and take those precautions. Golden, Mineola, that area of rotation is near you, so you guys should be taking your tornado safety precautions as well. Equipment and Wood, equipment as well. You are in that area as well. It is coming towards you. Yantis, go ahead and again take your tornado safety precautions. Downstairs, underneath something, the center part of a home or building, and keep away from windows and doors. If you have a storm cellar, move to your storm cellar. If you don't, get into the farthest farthest inside part of your house. We have a new spotter report. Several brief touchdowns 2 miles northwest of my position. Uh, that could have been up in the Josephine area. That could have been from earlier tornado warning. There is a rotating wall cloud. Storm spotters are reporting a rotating wall cloud about 1 mile north of Terrell. That was earlier, but that is this tornado warning here in well, here in the Rockwall area. Again, Rockwall County. Uh, that's going to be north of Terrell, southern Rockwall, southeastern Rockwall, southern Hunt, and northeastern Kaufman County. Now, Kaufman County, it is still in your area, but it is north of Terrell at this time. It will be moving out of your area shortly, but you are still under that tornado warning. Uh, Rockwall County, it is slightly in your area, in your county, but for those of you in McLendon, Chisholm, you guys can probably relax a little bit, but keep an eye on this storm uh, as it moves its way northeast into Cache and was that Lone Oak, uh, Quinlan, West Tawakoni. So you folks down there on Lake Tawakoni, you should have your tornado safe precautions as well. Uh, all right, new tornado warning has been issued for Van Zandt County until 4:15 p.m. That is about 20 more minutes. Uh, so uh, again, that tornado warning is going to cover that area west of Grand Saline or east of Grand Saline, and they're probably going to cancel that one here shortly because that is moving on into Wood County and northeastern Smith County as well, far northwestern Smith County. I'm sorry, and into northwestern Wood County. So I'm going to take another break real quick, and we are going to monitor these storms. I will go ahead and turn the loop animation on so you guys can get a good look at what this storm is doing. Also, just a reminder, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below with where you're at. That way we can, and if you are in these areas, we want you to take cover. But if you are away from the warned areas, but you can see what is going on, don't go out just to let us know. But if you have seen or if you hear of anything, let us know what is going on in the comments as well in the chat. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn the notification bell on because we do provide this type of coverage for uh, northern Texas and all of Oklahoma. And if we can get more viewers from different parts of the areas, we will continue to expand our viewing area for them. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back shortly. Okay, guys, we are back for just a minute. We're going to talk a little bit more about this tornado warning down here in Terrell, Texas area, as well as the one in the Quinlan area in Wood County. Let's go ahead and zoom in on this one right here over the Terrell area. It is still moving northeast. It looks like they may extend that tornado warning because that rotation is kind of coming out of the tornado warning box, so they are probably going to extend that one. So McCoy, get ready to take cover. Go ahead and take your tornado safety precautions and take cover at this time. Quinlan and West Waukene, Cache, Lone Oak. Lone Oak is slightly out of it, but it is right at your back door, Lone Oak. So don't hesitate to go ahead and take your tornado safety precautions. Let's go back over here to Golden. Golden, that tornado warning is for you. Golden, Mineola, you folks are getting affected by that rotation. We just hope that there is not a tornado on this ground still. We just hope that it's gone back up and it's rotating. So Quitman, Alba, it is passing you to the south. Yantis, it is passing you guys to the south, but take cover because there is still some rotation there for you guys. And they are probably going to extend that into Como and Picton there in, I believe that's Hopkins County. So you folks be prepared for southwestern part of that county. I'm sorry, the southeastern part of that county to be under a tornado warning. And it could even go into Franklin County as well. So southern, I believe that's Hopkins County there at Sulphur Springs, and then Franklin County, southern Hopkins and southern Franklin are probably going to be having a tornado warning extended to them as well. Quitman, again, that is still moving towards you. That rotation is very strong. So Quitman, you folks need to go ahead and take your tornado safety precautions. That storm cell does look like it's weakening over Yantis, but there is still some significant rotation in there. You can see it by these purple and blue lines right here. So they just dropped the tornado warning. It looks like they might have actually dropped the tornado warning, which is very surprising. So they may be getting ready to reissue it here shortly. So that is not something that I am going to ignore. I'm going to keep a close eye on this because it is still rotating. There's still some rotation. However, the reflectivity does show that these storms are weakening, but they have cycled back up and they could cycle back up again. So Grand Saline, that tornado warning is probably going to be expiring for you too. West Waukene, they are, looks like until, let's see, looks like that one is canceled. So the tornado warning remains for Hunt County and Kaufman County as well. And that's going to be until 4:30 p.m. for another 30 minutes. So the tornado warning is in effect for another 30 minutes. Okay, there it is. We talked about this tornado warning. They reissued a tornado warning for Quitman County there in Wood County there for Quitman. But they did allow, what they did is they cut off that Yantis area, and they may reissue it for Yantis as well into Picton and Como because there is still some rotation in that. However, the cell itself is weakening.
Hey, water's over the road at Kirk Street in Hugo. Water's over the road.
Okay, so those of you that may be in Hugo that are watching and listening, water is over the road in Kirk Street in Hugo.
Benzett, Texas has issued a tornado warning.
We still have tornado warnings in effect for lots of areas.
Listen to my police scanner, and I'm hearing a lot of stuff.
We still have lots of tornado warnings in effect. Quitman, that tornado warning has been reissued for you. West Waukene, there and again, Rockwall County is out of that tornado warning now, so it's still there for uh, Kaufman and Kaufman and let's see, Kaufman and Hunt County. So you guys are still under a tornado warning. So we're going to take another break again, and we are going to watch these storms as they continue northeast with tornado warnings in Kaufman, Hunt County, and Wood County. So you folks in those areas that are being affected by those tornadoes, um, uh, please get ready to take cover. Down near Van, there is some rotation in that cell right there, so that is going to be another one that we are going to keep an eye out for. So we're going to go ahead and start this animation again, and we'll be back here shortly. Alright guys, we are back. I want to bring a little attention to this cell down here by Gun Barrel City. There is some rotation, there is a hook. So that this cell is something we're going to keep watch on. It may go tornado warned here shortly. The tornado warnings are continuing for it looks like, I believe this is Kaufman and Hunt County. Uh, so yeah, Southern Hunt and Northeastern Kaufman County, those are going to continue, as well as the tornado warning in Wood County. That area of circulation is near the equipment area at this time. So you folks in those areas continue to take cover. Also, Whitesboro area, you folks in that area should get ready to take cover because you are barely in this tornado warning, but they may extend it once it gets closer to you guys as well. So again, Wood County and Hunt and Kaufman County tornado warning is continuing. In fact, they may actually pull that tornado warning out of Kaufman County and only into Hunt. But that cell is starting to move more east than northeast. So you folks over in Point and East Walkeny, prepare because this stuff may start heading more towards you. Lone Oak, you are still not out of the woods there on this one. Alright, so again, we are going to watch this one down here in Gun Barrel City. If you have any friends or family in there, tell them to be on the lookout for a tornado warning to be issued for that storm. All right, guys. We were taking a look. We were worried about this storm down here near Gun Barrel City. It has just gone severe thunderstorm warned. Let's stop the animation real quick. It has just gone severe thunderstorm warned, and there is some rotation, and there is a hook in that storm. So, you folks in Camp Maybank, um, all the way up at Canton, you guys are about to get it again. Myrtle Springs, I believe that's Tundra. Yeah, Tundra. That cell is moving towards you, and it is rotating. They don't have a tornado warning issued for it just yet, but there is rotation. Let's go back to Quitman, Wood County. It is still in effect for your area. There is still rotation in that storm. Uh, Now, Kaufman has been removed from this tornado warning, and the tornado warning has been a little bit more modified. You can see that area of rotation where that hook is now here. There is still some area of rotation over the lake, but is not as severe. Uh, it is not as tight as needs to be to produce a very um, significant weather event. So Lone Oak, it is coming up to you here minutes away. South, it is south of Cache. You see this new image right here. There's that area rotation that is the main concern, and there is a little bit of rotation starting to tighten up between east and west Tawakoni, right over the lake. So you folks in those areas need to be really weather aware and keep an eye out on these things. Also, up here near Sherman, there is some strong storms that have some slight rotation here in this area near Van Alstyne. And there is some frontal rotation. There's some rotation on that leading edge, but we're going to keep an eye on that. These up here in McCurtain County and Red River County, the severe thunderstorm warning has been extended further in, but those cells have weakened significantly. They are not nearly as um, putting out as much rotation as there was. Sulphur Bluff, there is an area of rotation that is marked, but that storm is very small and may not be very much of concern, but we are keeping an eye on it. Uh, Zoom out a little bit. There are no other watches or warnings in effect in these areas, so we are going to continue to watch these this tornado warning over Hunt, Wood, and we're going to watch this cell over Gun Barrel City. So I would highly suggest you get ready to take your tornado precautions. For those of you in and around Gun Barrel City Camp, um, Mabank, and this cell is moving towards Canton. So you folks in Canton and Tundra and Merle Springs, Van Zandt County, get ready because you're about to get another round. All right, we're going to take another quick break, and we're going to start this animation, and then we will get back to the radar, the live audio here shortly. Alright, guys, so we do have a new tornado warning. Just like I said before, it's going to be in the Gun Barrel City area, in camp, camp, camp area. You folks in camp, take care of her. Take your tornado safety precautions. There is a tornado warning in effect, and it does include Mabank and just outside of Tundra. So Tundra, you folks down there in Van Zandt County can watch out, keep a watch on this cell because it is moving towards you guys at this time. There's significant rotation in this cell. So you can see right in this area is where that rotation is. Very tight coupling, and that is moving northeast. So you folks in those areas need to take cover. Remember, get downstairs underneath something that's center part of a home or building and keep away from windows and doors. Get into the most inner part of the house, a hallway or a hallway closet, and get in there and put as many walls between you and outside as possible. Real quick, we're going to go back up to Tawakoni area, Hunt County. That tornado warning is expired. Tornado warning continues for Wood County, northeast of Quitman. So Whitesboro, that tornado warning is starting to come out to affect you. They may reissue it to include Whitesboro and Newsom. We are not sure yet. We're just going to have to keep a watch on that one. But right now we are watching as this tornado starts to circulate. You see that significant hook echo right there. Let's zoom in on it a little bit. You can see this large hook, and on this other is very, very tight, very fast rotation. So there may actually be a tornado on the ground with this one. Let's go ahead and check the report. This is radar indicated rotation, but there is some we've been watching some pinks and purples, pinks and blues in this rotation. Now we have red and green. So this indicates very, very high winds at 70 knots in these areas. So we are seeing some very significant fast rotation out of the storm. So let's see if there are any. There are no spotter reports for this storm at all yet. So we can only assume that it is not on the ground yet. But you know what? Let's assume that it is on the ground. And you folks in these areas need to take cover immediately. Do not go outside and try to storm chase. Uh, there are so many. Just to show you how many storm chasers are out there at this time, I'm going to open the place file manager for its spotter networks, spotter positions. And you can see there are a few spotters right in this area of the storm. But look at the DFW area. There are spotters everywhere, so please do not try to chase these storms. There are so many people out there, roads are just going to get congested. And you are going to produce a more reckless endangerment, a dangerous environment for yourself. Alright guys, unfortunately I have a family emergency, so I have to stop broadcasting. I would leave this on and just go, but without anybody here to readjust the image frame, storms would just move out of the frame and there would be nothing to see. So we are still going to. There is still a tornado warning in effect for Kemp and Kaufman County, into Van Zandt County, and also in Wood County, which that one may be allowed to expire. However, there is starting to be some significant rotation, fast rotation in that one as well. Let's take another look at this one down in Kaufman County. There is still some rotation. Alright, that's going to do it for this stream. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and to hit that notification bell.